So the quadratic formula, it can be used to solve any quadratic equation. This equation is x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. A, b, and c come from the standard form of a quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. What do you guys notice? What is this? It's my discriminant, right? And what about that's our axis of symmetry, it's our x value of our vertex. So that's where we get this information from. So our steps on using the quadratic equation, you need to first make sure it's in standard form. Okay, so if it's equaling to something, you need to make it equaling to 0. And then organize it in A, B, and C. Then we need to identify the values for A, B, and C. Find the discriminant to determine if there are solutions. There's no point in solving if we don't have a solution. Okay? If there's no solution, stop. Okay? If there is a solution, continue using the formula. Finding the discriminant is not something that is like an extra step or anything like that, because it's part of your equation. So you're going to have to use it and find it anyways. Then we substitute the remaining values into the formula and evaluate. Okay? There's two different ways that we're going to evaluate. It might say the exact value, or it might say approximate your answer using decimals. And we'll do both for any ones that have the option of doing both. Okay? So, the first thing we need to do is identify A, B, and C. So what would be my A value? 1, B, and C, 5. Okay? Then it says to find the discriminant to determine if there are solutions. So my discriminant equation is b squared minus 4ac. Okay? So 6 squared minus 4 times a times c. So what is 6 squared? 36. What is negative 4 times 1? Negative 4. Negative 4 times 5? Negative 20. And what is 26, or 36 minus 20? 16. Okay? Now I'm going to take my formula, negative x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And substitute the information we know. We don't have to find this again. We already found it. What is this? 16, right? So I can just substitute 16 in there. What is b again? 6 plus, so it's going to be negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 16 all over 2 times 1. Okay? And what is the square root of 16? 4. So I'm going to have negative 6 plus or minus 4 all over 2. Okay, so now we have to do that. So x equals negative 6 plus 4 over 2, and x equals negative 6 minus 4 over 2. So what is negative 6 plus 4? Negative 2. What is negative 2 over 2? Negative 1. Okay, and then negative 6 minus 4? Negative 10 divided by 2? So my x is negative 1, negative 5. That is my answer. My solutions, my roots, my x-intercepts. So we take our equation and we substitute it in our b, our discriminant, which we already found our discriminant, and then our a. then we evaluate, we just solve. Okay, and then this gives me an exact answer. -1 and -5 are the points in which this equation crossed my x-axis, my roots, my zeros, my solutions. When it says solve, that's what you're solving for. All right, let's try another one. Okay, so this one isn't in standard form, so I need to make it into standard form. So I'm going to subtract 10x from both sides. So then I'm going to get x squared minus 10x plus 14 equals 0. Okay? So what is my A? 1. What is my B? -10. What is my C? 14. Remember, A, B, C. The A goes with the x squared, the B goes with the x, and the C is the number by itself. Okay, so now I need to find my discriminant. So that equation is B squared minus 4AC. So B squared, so -10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 14. What is -10 squared? 100. -4 times 1? -4 times 14? Okay, 100 minus 56 is 44. Okay, now I'm going to substitute all the information into my equation. So I have x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay? So -b, so -10 plus or minus the square root of 44 all over 2 times 1. Okay, so this would be the same as 10. Or, yeah.
Wait, you messed up something. That should be 100, shouldn't it be? Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Right, I can break apart 44. Remember how beforehand we would, the first lesson for this, we took the square roots and we were breaking them apart? So this is where I'm going to find my exact. Okay? 4 times 11 is 44. So this is like the same thing as the square root of 4 times 11. Right? I'm going to continue this over here. So I have 10 plus or minus 2, because the square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 11, all divided by 2. Okay, this is where we're finding my exact answer. All right, so I can divide 2 by 10 and 2 by 2, right? Okay, if this was a 3 here, could I divide by 3? 2 by 3? No. So you can only divide if it can go into both terms. Okay? So my 2 can go into 10 and my 2 can go into 2. So this becomes 5 plus or minus the square root of 11. Okay, this is my exact answer. X equals 5 plus or minus 11. Okay? We can also find the approximate answer by finding the square root of 11. Okay? So what is the square root of 11? You guys have a calculator. I do not have a calculator in front of me. Type in 11 and then hit the square root button, please. 3.32. Yeah, we're going around. We're finding approximate. So this is my exact. This is my approximate answer. Okay, and then I'm going to be plussing, and I need to find them x equals 5 minus 3.2, or 3.32. Remember plus or minus? So then I will get x equals approximately 8.32, and x equals approximately 1.68. Right? This is, if it was asking for exact, you put this in. If it was asking for approximate, you put these in. Okay? Fine. Okay, so this one, I need to move my 1 over because it's not in standard form. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I'm going to have 9x squared plus 6x plus 1 equals 0. So my A is going to be 9, my B is going to be 6, and my C is going to be 1. Okay, now let's find the discriminant. Okay, so B squared minus 4AC, which is the same as 6 squared minus 4 times 9 times 1. So what's 6 squared?
36.
36. And what is negative 4 times 9?
Negative 36.
And negative 36 times 1?
Negative 34.
Okay, so my discriminant is 0. Okay, when my discriminant is 0, how many solutions do I have? 1. So I know I'm just going to have one solution. So let's go into our equation. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 0 all over 2 times 9. So does it matter if I add, like, what's the square root of 0? 0. Does it matter if I add or subtract 0? No. So my top is just going to be negative 6. What is 2 times 9? 18. Now let's reduce. What? Negative 1/3. So x equals negative 1/3. That is my solution. Because 6 goes into both 6 and 18 to reduce. Right, they're giving you this formula, the vehicle motion formula, or vertical motion formula, sorry, not vehicle, vertical. So, which is h equals negative 16t squared plus vt plus s, where h is the ending height, t is the time, v is the vertical velocity, and s is the start height. Okay? So, we are going to substitute values in for v and s and find t. Okay? This should look exactly like a quadratic equation. The only thing that's different is that there's t's instead of x's. Okay? So once we substitute our values in, it won't be any different. Okay? So Cliff Driver jumps from a height of 92, so that's my start height, with a initial upward velocity, my v, of 5 feet per second. How much time does the diver have to perform a acrobatic maneuver before hitting the water? Okay, so now we're looking for t time. So in water would be the 0. Okay, so our 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 5t t for my velocity plus 92. Okay, where our end height is at 0 because that's when the water is. So I need to find my disseminant. So b squared minus 4ac. So my b is 5, so 5 squared minus 4 times negative 16 times 92 equals, what is 5 squared? 25. Negative 14 times negative 16 times 92. 5,888. And 25 plus 5,888 is 5,913. Okay, now I'm going to substitute all of my information into my quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, negative b, negative 5, plus or minus the square root of 5,913 all over 2 times negative 16. Okay, what is the square root of 5,913? If we're going to want to do like time, we're going to have decimals.
76.9.
Yeah. And 2 times negative 16? It's negative 32. Okay, so now I'm going to do my plus and minus of this. So negative 5 plus 76.9 all divided by negative 32. And what is that? Negative 2.2. Am I going to have a negative time? No. So this is not a solution. But so our other one hopefully is 5 minus 76.9 all over negative 32. Negative 5 minus 76.2 would give me 81.9. Negative 81.9 divided by negative 32 would give me a positive 2.56. So my solution is 2.56 seconds. Sorry, kind of ran out of room. Okay.